Bukola, over to you.
All right, guys. So thank you everyone for joining. That we're 16 people on the call. That is interesting to say the least. I suppose that's also part of the point and the problem. All right. So when we're talking about being the professional, it is, I have this amazing young man, and I must say it's an amazing young man who is in form at the moment. And, if you remember the last few seasons that Man United has had, you will know that there are moments that I personally as a fan, I thought it just seemed like he couldn't even control the ball, like normal, that my son controls ball better. So, he had his time of being out of form, and sometimes that happens to, us all as we go through our careers or just as in whatever roles that we play. It doesn't mean that we do not strive to be better, or to get in form, or to train, or to put the elements that we need in to get the final result. So this one, this is the only time you see Man United in this presentation, just so you're aware. All right, so let's go. So quick recap. Part of what we've been doing over the last few months is kind of to give some voice to the vision, some voice to the brand DNA, and some voice to our core values, which we kind of live and breathe every day. Company objectives, which I think Shakira and the team have been working with the managers to set in place. Now, as a whole human person or company, a brand or a company has a vision. Now we know what that is. You have your brand DNA, which is kind of like your intrinsic core. The definition here says, it's the central core of the business. It's the position that we show to the market and with the promise that we make to our clients or customers, to our team, etc., etc. We know what ours are. The learning, end user obsession, and design. Then we have our core values, which is how we behave as an organization. So the core values are our fundamental beliefs and highest that drive our behavior. And then we have the company objectives, which kind of stems from the vision, but is more, I suppose, is driven force to try to achieve them. And some of that is more long-term, some of it is, and also you have company objectives, which might be sometimes broader. Then you have the ones that you do over like the year or a few years. And then your key results kind of stem from that. So when we're discussing being a professional in the context of an organization, it is first, yes, about you, but also about the company or the entity that you represent. And normally, if you listen to Arsene Wenger, and if you're a football fan, even if you're an Arsenal supporter, you should read his book, My Life in Red and White, or White and Red. Anyway, you should read it because it talks a lot about shared values. And this is one of the reasons why I stayed so long in the club, because the value of the club and the owners and the system there aligned with his values. For instance, again, I should say to the Chelsea fans on this call, I'm going to sub you guys a lot just because you guys spent over £500 million in January transfer window to be losing small clubs. Anyway, that's not the point. But Arsenal would never. It was part of the issues that they had. They would never pay some amount of money for people. They had certain things that they were guided by. And if you listen to Arsene Wenger's book, there's a lot of that understanding of what shared values are. So as a person in any organization or any system for that matter, just first know that, check your own personal values and check the values of the organization or the company or the church or the mosque or the, whatever the organization is, and see if there is alignment. So I think that's the most fundamental thing, so that you don't do things that are against your personal values. All right, so our core values, as a quick recap, I'm not going to go over them. They're on the screen purely because Be the Professional is integrated into one of them. So for those who didn't know this, so Be the Professional is under excellence. It's the only reason I have the slide. So under excellence, you have strive for a while. Remember that quality is a habit. It's not one of thing. You have growth mindsets, add value wherever you go. Then be the professional, not just ask why, but why not? Okay. So today, I'm going to be talking more about being the professional. Now, so I've just kind of expanded on this. Now, in being a professional in the setting of a company, I have to reference team sports, because team sports, personally, I believe that team sports are a very good way for us to understand, what the objective is, what different roles are, how we support each other to achieve the central goal. We know if we've achieved the goal, we know if we haven't achieved the goal, we know, what happens in terms of if, for instance, Man United, Greenwood goes to do whatever it goes to do, how he affects the club, different things like that. So, how temperamental players might be sometimes, and you have to manage their egos, the relationship between the coach and the club, the coach and the team. So team sports gives me, personally anyway, a good way of understanding organizations and just optimizing teams. So please, I said before on the call, a lot of the women or ladies who are non-football lovers might find this session heavily dosed with footballing references. All right. So first, when we're talking about be the professional, the premise of my entire presentation is going to cover the highlighted words in one way, shape, or form. So you have moral excellence, which is character, critical for being a professional. So character. And the second one is knowledge. So you can talk about knowledge and skill, which is competence. Then you kind of get to self-control, you get to patience, endurance, stamina, to the ability to stay in it and to follow through, to be consistent. You have godliness, you have brotherly affection, which is, things like empathy and stuff like that. And then you have love for everyone. So the essence and the premise of things that you find to be a professional, for me, is better than this as a person, but also as a reflection of the organization that you represent. So, but we'll get to that in a sec. All right. So this slide is so that all people that dodged biology in school can realize what they missed or didn't miss. So I'm going to start with the premise that as a human, as a person, whether you're a husband, a wife, a sibling, a child, a side chick, a sugar daddy, a mommy, whatever, right? The entire world and creation is built around systems and dependencies and interdependencies. And it's very important for us to understand that if we have, less pests in a system, they teach us in science that it could potentially affect other things adversely, or when you take some things from the ecosystem, it will affect something, it will throw something out of balance. So in whatever role that we occupy anywhere, absolutely anywhere in the world, in anything, as there is a role you are meant to fulfill. If you choose not to fulfill the role, there will be a gap, right? So that's the premise, is that as humans, if you listen to at least from the Bible anyway, when you listen to the story of the talents, as humanity, right, as creation, we are meant to be productive. It's what we are meant to do, regardless of any situation that we find ourselves. So in any role that you are in, sometimes there's a lot more pressure than you want in some cases. So if you're the type that supports, I suppose, your extended family or your family in some way, shape, or form, or just you have responsibilities. Some might be your core family, some might be outside, some might be business responsibilities, there is a certain demand, an expectation of you. And what we're trying to do through this presentation is to, first understand how to respond to it and to stay with it in a productive way, right? So there's always a demand to perform. There's always a demand to perform, regardless of where you find yourself. So that one, let's agree that is the case. And let's not say, I can coast. No, even if you're coasting at the moment in any of your roles, there is a gap there. So that's one of the things I wanted to say, that, if you are a father who is not as present, or you're a child who doesn't, visit your folks, or you're, whatever your role is, right? Understand that the gap that you've created, there's a vacuum there, it still needs to be filled. So hopefully through this also you would kind of evaluate those relationships and those roles and try to perform or be better in those roles. All right, so here I'm going to kick off with a quiz that Obira is going to help us to do in a few seconds. I just want you to select, you can only select one answer. It might seem like there might be multiple answers, but please just select one quickly, and then we'll kind of discuss. I'll call upon some people to kind of ask what they selected, and we'll have that discussion. Obira, please cue the quiz. All right, quiz is up, guys. All right, 10 people have voted. Okay, 14, let's go. 18, let's go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, end poll. Coolio. Okay, let me see. Interesting. Okay. All right, cool. Let me kick off by asking, okay, let me see. Who selected, if you selected passion, please, I think I can see if your hands are raised. Okay, please raise up your hand. And let me see. Okay. Somebody might need to help me actually. Okay, you selected passion. Passion is the single most important determinant for productivity. All right, let's not see if you're not answering. All right, let me come to different people now. Okay, so I'm going to start with Timileyin Adetunji. Timileyin boy. All right, what did you select and why?
Hi, Bukola. Good morning.
Hi, good morning.
Yeah, so I actually selected passion. I mean, I've been meaning to. I was hoping someone else would really answer, honestly, but then, but yeah, I chose passion, and so I felt that amongst all the options that we have there, it's only passion that will actually that will keep you going. I mean, if you have the talent, if there's time, even if there's no time, I mean, and it's passion that will allow you, that will allow you achieve consistency, right? So I feel passion is just the foundation for all of the other options that we have there. So yeah, that's my
Okay.
opinion.
So Timileyin, yeah, if you follow football.
I do.
Okay. So do you know Diego Maradona?
I won't say for Argentina, it sure has he had passion for Argentina, but for coaching, not so much.
Okay.
Yeah.
But he was their coach and it did not. Okay. But you're saying
Um,
they have passion for coaching, unlike football.
yeah, but
That's your argument.
but he had passion for Argentina and football. So it didn't balance. So I mean, if there
Okay.
was passion for coaching, then he would have been able to probably see it through and take them to a higher level. That makes sense.
Okay. Okay, interesting. Who picked consistency? Thank you, Timileyin. Who picked consistency, please? Show of hands. You can just show your hands if you. Thank you. Somebody has shown their hand. Let me scroll. Akinwale, consistency. Hi, Akinwale. Why did you pick consistency?
Good morning.
Good morning.
I pick consistency because I feel like no matter what you do or how talented you are, if you're not consistent with the work, like it'll be hard to keep producing results. So consistency breeds results at the end of the day, whether you're feeling good, bad, as long as you're consistent, the work gets done and results show.
Okay, interesting. All right, all right. So there was a debate. So thanks, Akimali. There was a debate for the football people. Maybe not debate. When Michael Owen over the weekend was saying James Ward-Prowse is one of the best from an elite free kick taker perspective. That is one of the, if not the best in the world. James Ward-Prowse. It doesn't have any other. It's not a good footballer all round, though. But you see this dead ball, this free kick at a particular point. That it might not be great anywhere else, but is consistent as a free kick taker for, I think it's Southampton. Anyway, but so that's interesting for me. Results. Who picked results? Please show of hands. Show of hands. Pick results. Thank you. Who is this? Who is this? Jade Jim. Results. Please go. Jade, go first, and I'll come to Sophia.
Okay. So I think I read the question as when you say what's the single determinant of productivity, it's almost like what you have to show for it, which is why I picked results, like your output actually shows whether or not you've been productive, in my mind.
Fair enough. I understand that concept. It's one of the reasons why it's there, although I've been, I test these things out with GB, and GB insists that determinants are inputs, not outputs. But I agree with what you're saying as well. I think it's a good measure. Sophia.
Hi, thank you. So I agree with Jade. So when you say what are the determinants or what is the most important determinant of productivity, it means what determines, to me, it means that what determines that you have been productive. So how can you show that you have been productive? And at the end of the day, I think results are the things that can really show that you've been productive. Thank you.
Fantastic. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Can I just please go with the one person? This one, please just give me this. That selected resources. I bet the person's a Chelsea supporter. Please, who selected resources? Are you a Chelsea supporter?
No.
Don't say, you don't watch. Thank you. Beautiful. Okay. Why did you select resources? Tui?
I think I picked just because, like, in my own field, like the type of like video editing or like visual stuff, the kind of like resources you use, like that. Because if it's like a high performance machine, it's like 5 hours to render. You can get one like this, like 1 hour to render. There's a big difference in your productivity level and your like output level.
Okay, makes sense. Makes sense.
Yeah,
thank you for that contribution. Okay, so Chelsea people have gone for this one. I would ignore. So, all right, so I'll just continue with the presentation. Thank you, guys. I think, so for me, the question was put there also for us to be able to kind of discuss this different or varying aspects. For me personally, and you see in my videos as I progress, that the different elements matter, but in terms of measurement, results obviously, but the other things are also kind of bits that need to be included in different ways. Not all of them, but we'll see. All right, so how to be a professional. I think this is my video. Okay, so before I come here, so how to be a professional. So here, the first thing I want to establish, is that we need to first, to be a professional in our field, or in any field actually, we all need to not be confused about the game we are playing, right? You should not, if my client's expectation of me should be, I should understand that is the expectation, right? Because that should be the, I suppose, more benchmarked expectation, all right, or agreed expectation. You should not be expecting something from me that, frankly speaking, is not even in my core discipline, just, as an example. So I give a very old example. So when in the early days of digital marketing, when the term community management was coined, right? Community management in the digital sense, now obviously we're clear about what it means. But previously, before digital, community management literally meant managing like local communities or pockets or clusters of people. And so when we were working with Nigerian breweries at the time, sorry, somebody's mic is unmuted, Obira. When we were working with Nigerian breweries at the time, I didn't even realize there was a confusion because I was clear about what community management meant. We were all clear because it's what we do. But they assumed differently. So when the global team came to run some sessions called the Global Commerce University, so they asked this question, and I thought it was a really stupid question. I was like, why are they asking this stupid question? What does community management like? Just select, and they would wait for people to debate. And come and see, people were debating that this is what it means. I was about the only person in the room that was like, guys, no, it doesn't mean all these things. It only means this thing. So eventually, at the end of that exercise, I realized obviously that each person's pocket of understanding is different and our reference points are different. So the first thing up front usually is for you to set your definitions and be clear, which is why when you're reading a legal document as an example, they'll tell you this agreement, they'll say agreement means parties are, so that everybody's clear. And so from what we do as an example, in terms of the objectives, the KPIs, how will be measured, what success looks like, all those things need to be stated and need to be clear from the beginning. So the first thing is to ensure that we are all playing the same game under the same rules. So this is for me, it's a super funny video. So please enjoy.
Hey, how you doing? This is Ted Lasso. I'm the new head coach of the Tottenham Hotspurs, and I'd like to talk to the Queen, please. My name's Ted Lasso. I'm new head coach for Tottenham Spurs. Been brought over here to implement my coaching style. Football is football no matter where you play it. You got grass, you got cleats, and you got helmets with masks on them. Football in the States is my specialty, but they have a different kind of football over here.
Kick it! Circle them up, have them put on their pads, and let's start playing for real. They're wearing their pads, Coach.
There's a lot of small similarities. A team I coach, they're gonna play hard for all 4 quarters, okay?
2 halves.
What's that?
2 halves.
Okay, halves. We're gonna play hard for 2 halves. And we're gonna play till there's a winner and there's a loser. What's that?
A tie.
Okay, till there's a winner, a loser, or a tie. You can tie. If you tried to end a game in a tie in the United States, heck, that might be listed in Revelations as the cause for the apocalypse. Yeah, do we have any goals this season? Absolutely. We're gonna win a lot of games. We're gonna get in the playoffs.
No playoffs.
There's no playoffs. Again, my job just got a lot easier. Ties and no playoffs. Why do you even do this? One of the issues I've had is what tackling was.
There you go, tackle him. What the hell? That's not a tackle. It's just sliding around.
Soccer tackle, sir.
All right there, Gary. That's how you tackle.
To prepare for this job, read a lot of books, watched a lot of game films. But to be honest with you, the best way to learn how to play this game is to play this game. The square, goal.
Circle.
Circle's goal. See, I got you a little do-si-do. You don't know what to do. There you go. Good stop. Okay.
Game over.
Yeah, it's over for now. 15-0, huh? We're going to go on a rematch. Yeah, they do things a little bit differently. Part of me finds some of the things they do a little silly.
Pass it in. Well, you keep passing it backwards. What's going on here?
It's nice to be able to go backwards and forwards and not have some ref make a big deal about it.
Will you explain to me how that was offside? No, I'm asking you. Seriously, explain offside to me. It made no sense.
Well, the first thing I had to do when getting this job was learn about the competition. We came up with the flashcard system in order for me to make American comparisons to English teams. All I had to do was link what I don't know to what I do know.
Manchester United. Super rich, everybody either loves them or hates them.
Dallas Cowboys.
Liverpool. Used to be great, haven't won a title in a really long time.
Also Dallas Cowboys.
Cardiff City, Dragons on the crest.
What's that hot girl's name from Game of Thrones?
Khaleesi.
Khaleesi.
Manchester City.
Jennifer Lawrence.
West Ham United.
Pickup trucks. Because of that training that I did, I guarantee that we're going to beat the Cowboys and Jennifer Lawrence. Has there been a learning curve? I would say a little bit.
Starting to understand why these scores are so low. Look how tiny these goals are.
Those are practice goals, Coach.
He knocked in that ball with his head. Is that legal?
Totally legal.
Hey, that's... Wow, 3 points.
No points.
No points. Why not?
It's got to go in.
Come on, Rob. You got to get it in there to get 3 points.
1 point.
They got like an application for a phone. I can learn the rules. What are these, trust exercises? Who's orange shoes?
or as is our awards or just benchmark against other performing work. So whether if you are anti-CAN or DNAD, you might be, pro FEs, which is more effective advertising, wherever you lie. The point is, you measure the result or the effect of the work you've done as measured by the impact that it has on the business, charity, or whomever that work has been done for based on the jobs you've done in the beginning, and that technically is the measure of success, the quality of the outcome, and the effectiveness of what we've done. Those are universal rules of how our industries are measured. Now, I'm going to show quickly, just for reference. I think Motola showed this when we're doing the DNAD ones, but just as an example, I've just picked 2 or 3 examples of ads that have either won recently or last year, won DNAD or CAN Lion Show. Whether we like it or not, whether we agree or we don't agree, as professionals, we're not in competition with the next guy down the road. We're in competition in a global market, right? And that perspective is one of the things I want us to take away, that my standard is not against Noah's Ark down the road, not against whomever down the road. It is, can I stand face to face against the best in the world? And that should be a professional's perspective. Sometimes, like Rashford, obviously you might have seasons where it almost seems that you don't even know how to play football, but when you hit form, there's no stopping you, literally. And I think that's one of the things I want us all to get from this as professionals. We measure ourselves not against our local environment, but against the best in the world.
Hi, may I take your order?
Okay, let me see. Oh, let me see, sorry. Let me go back to Zoom. There we go.
Hi, may I take your order?
So I'm going to skip some of the other, if you guys can still hear me. I hope you can.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. My screen tricks on me now, but okay. So I'm going to skip.
Shrink it, pink it.
All right. Cool. So I skip the other examples of some of the ads just because I'm looking at the time and I still have some videos that I want us to watch. All right. So haven't spoken about, the fact that we need to shepherd, we need to set goals. We have to benchmark ourselves against the best in the world, as measured by awards, as measured by impact on the client's business, as measured by social impact, whatever the objectives are. I thought it would be good to kind of just bring forward some of our 2023 objectives, what we're trying to achieve. Overall, we have be attractive to customers or clients, talents, and investors as one of our things. But this year, the subset of that is do work that excites. So that for us this year is one of the things we're really trying to hone in on, to select projects that allow us to be as expressive as possible, not we would love to work on. And Reimagine Our World is also one of the existing ones, but under that, Tosin, Stella, yes, drive growth, which is more bottom line growth, but that's through one could define secondary markets, which is creating new markets for things you already do. So part of that is there's a waste streams thing, which is the learning sessions and our culture hacking framework that is now evolved into the African cheat sheet and the culture hacking toolkit. So these are the things we're trying to focus on this year to try to get us driving our attractiveness and growth, etc. So being in the business, these are the things we're striving to achieve. So I put this there so that just in terms of aligning, in terms of kind of if in doubt, what should I select or how should I approach? These are the things for this year. All right. So continuing with my football metaphors, United, though I don't think Man City is to be honest, I don't think they're rivals. I'm not like that. They don't have the history. Guardiola. I don't watch their games. They're very boring. But anyway, I have respect for him. So I have a couple of videos that to illustrate some points. So I'm going to play this one. It's a short video.
You've said you are obsessed.
Sorry. I'm coming on. Give me a sec. Working Zoom is interesting.
You've said you are obsessive about build-up play. In order to get results, would you sacrifice that at all?
Impossible. It's impossible. When you sacrifice, for what reason? Would you lose a game? A wrong pass, and you're going to receive a goal. And the people say, why you don't hit ball? No, we have to insist on that. The reason why you miss that pass.
So you wouldn't, what we call, win ugly. Play maybe not attractive if it means you're going to get a win.
No. I want to win. So the people say, no, is it when you play a build-up or try to, no, I want to win. I want to play serious. I want to be effective. I don't do that to be, I want to play build-up. No. I make a build-up to convince the players, but that is, you have more consequence, positive than negative. If I believed and you did that and it's not productive for the team, I would not do that. But I was a football player and manager, and always when I did that, I would score a lot of goals and concede few. And that's why I believe in that.
So it's attractive but with purpose.
Yeah, of course. But I want to win, because not, City is going to fire me.
All right. So let me come to the room quickly. And, I thought I was going to say, oh, yeah, that doesn't do ugly football, but he insisted that the objective, that winning is my objective. And in my mind, this is the best way for me to win, right? Attractive football with purpose. Any comments from let me see, who am I coming to? Does anybody want to raise up their hand to talk about this? The result is still the objective, but the thing is, I do believe over the years he's trained his gut. And so he has come to a place where he can be sure, right? To say, even if it's not working right now, it will work, right? He has tested it and he knows that to be true. Let me see, who should I come to? Football references. Benga, let me come to Benga Florenshaw.
Hello?
I can hear you, Benga.
Sorry, I didn't get
from the video. In terms of focusing on winning, because the question, the anchor asked the question. I suppose his point is he has a method that he believes, will win. That what's the worst that can happen? Somebody will kick the keeper. Somebody will make a mistake, right? Right. So I'm saying in a team, how important is focusing on winning?
I would say that is the only reason why you are in the team. There is, no matter how much there is no, you have a fancy office, or you speak fancy grammar, or you have the best of education. If you are not getting the right results, or the result that has been set from the one, there is really nothing to explain. It's like Chelsea, like you said, they've been spending money, but no win. It's them are not getting them the win. The win is the win. No matter how efforts, I have come to learn that efforts really does not count. As much as, yes, you did your best, you went under the rain, you climbed 10,000 mountains, you traveled from but if the win was not gotten at the end of the day, your effort really does not count.
Some dodgy coach's name like Mourinho. Who is Mourinho? Who the heck is Mourinho? I don't understand. Mourinho's philosophy. Let me not break all this down for you guys. So, are you guys comparing Pep to Mourinho? Seriously. Mourinho previously, yes, and we'll get to why Mourinho now is not that person. I'll get to it at the end, which is why it's important as a professional. You need to be rounded, right? It's not every time is the coach, is the club's fault, it's the players that you have given me. It's all the extra things. When it gets to that time of the season, we know his memo. So please, Mourinho, babu. Sophia, I apologize in advance. Yes, Sports FM. Yes, some people give kickbacks or bribes to win. Yes, like Man City, or are you talking about the what's it called now? The rackets that must be going on in Chelsea because of how much they're paying for all those people that don't know how to play football. Anyway, let me move on. Let me not get no. Don't say it's United. United, we're not bribing anybody. All right, attractive but with purpose, and this for me was was an important part of the video that you are playing attractive football does not mean is fluffy. That you are creative and doing things that are design-led like Apple does not mean, still, I think Apple is still the most valuable brand in the world, right? It can be effective, great design, attractiveness, being more intentional, following your gut, your trained gut, with purpose can be quite important to any professional, any business. So it's very important. And our job over time is to train our gut in a way in data sources, and he has come to this conclusion. Now, also, he was saying in that video, he needs to convince others. So convince the players that this is the way. Imagine, like, even with all his success, he still needs to convince them, say, guys, don't worry, this thing will work. And as a professional, that's part of it. Sometimes you see something, and I've said it so many times that the Share Co campaign took 3 years. 3 years for the agency to convince Coca-Cola in Australia to do it. 3 years. I was in New Zealand. I don't know, one of them, Australia or New Zealand. Anyway, and they believed in it so much, and they kept going back to get the buy-in for that to happen. Even within your teams as a professional, it's not just about saying, I said it and therefore it is. There are moments for that, but ultimately it is ensuring that people can believe in what you already see. All right. So again, more Pep videos. So I'm running out of time.
When I win a game, and after I'm a failure when you lose a game. So I'm not a genius, honestly. I'm a guy who works incredible in the world. I'm there. In that I'm good. I spend a lot of time here and there. I try to be the first to arrive and the last to leave. And it's no secrets. And normally happen in because I don't understand the satisfaction, personal satisfaction. I'm not talking about happiness. Satisfaction is completely different. To do the job about. I don't want get something without effort. I don't want it. It doesn't work. When something here, I give you this, that, no value. It's not satisfaction. Satisfaction is when you know, yeah, you don't win the Champions League. Yeah, okay, yeah. I put more effort to try. It works good. No works. My friend, I won 3 in my career as a football player. I cannot remember more. We were closer in the other times. So in that.
All right. So
sorry.
I'm not a genius. I'm not a genius. First in, last out. According to Pep. Let me see. GB, do you want to come? Do you want to? Oh, I don't know if GB is available, but let me see. Who? Let me see. Obiora, let me call you in now. Come on now. Have some respect for a proper coach, not the people that you guys have adopted. Have some respect, you know, effort, work ethic.